Hi everyone, this is LeetCode problem number 14, longest common prefix. So what we can do is compare characters position by position across all the string until a mismatch occurs, right? So like obviously the first thing, if array is empty, we can just return an empty string, or else what can we do is that we'll assume that this is our prefix. So we'll mark our current prefix as strs of 0. Okay, and then we'll start comparing it with the next, and then we'll shrink it, since this is like flower with flow is not a prefix until unless we shrink it, right? So we'll shrink it until these both become like prefix, and once that happens we'll compare it with like whatever the resulting prefix will have, we'll compare that with flight, and then again we will shrink this according to the required prefix, right? Let's see a dry run to understand it better. So in the starting I have prefix flower. I'm gonna compare it with flow. So does string start with prefix? No, it does not. When I mean start with prefix, that means like it has to match, right? So it is not matching. So what we will do, we will shrink our flower to, we'll shrink by one letter and we'll mark it this, and then again we'll check. So for now my current prefix is this, and I'm comparing it with flow. Does string start with prefix? No, it does not. So again I'm gonna do is shrink this. Now I have my current prefix as this. I'm gonna be comparing it with flow. Does it start? Yes, it is. We are gonna keep it, and then we will move to the next character like how I had said. So now my current prefix is flow from the previous row, and I have to compare it with flight. So does it start with prefix? No, it does not. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna shrink my flow to FLO. So I have flight, and I have to compare it with FLO. Does it start with this? No, it does not. I'm gonna shrink it even more. After shrinking, it becomes FL. So now I have flight, and I have to compare it with, like, the current prefix would be FL because we have shrunk it. Now does FL exist in flight? Yes, it exists. We'll keep this and we'll return it. So the answer for this is nothing but FL. FL is the prefix which is present in each and every string of like, is present in each and every string of this array. So yeah, this is the solution for longest common prefix. Let's try coding it. So like we had discussed, if the given string is empty, we will return an empty prefix. So let's say if my strs is empty, I'm gonna return an empty string. Now, like we had discussed, that I'm gonna consider my first like in the array, the first word is what I'm gonna consider the longest common prefix. Okay, now I have made that assumption, and then I'm gonna iterate through my array of words actually. So let's say I is less than strs.size. Okay, while iterating, what had we decided? That if my prefix is not the start, like prefix, not at start. So strs dot or find. If I'm not able to find my prefix, it's this. If it is not equal to 0, then I'm gonna pop back a letter. Prefix dot, I'm gonna pop back the word prefix, pop back this. And now if we have an empty prefix, we will again return an empty string. Else we'll return the prefix that we got. So now let's run this and see if it is working or not. Okay, yeah, this works fine. Thank you everyone for watching.